Follow Alex Kane, a cocky human pilot turned slave, and Xelya Veyn, a wealthy alien noblewoman, as they navigate danger, betrayal, and forbidden emotions in a galaxy where nothing is as it seems. Hit that like button, subscribe, and buckle up. This is one journey you don't want to miss. V beat down on the sprawling alien marketplace, a cacophony of noise and color stretching as far as the eye could see. The scent of exotic spices mixed with the acrid tang of sweat and machinery, creating an oppressive atmosphere that mirrored the misery of its less fortunate inhabitants. Alex Kane, a human, stood shackled on a raised platform, his lips curled in a defiant smirk. He was a man out of place, once a starship pilot, now reduced to a piece of merchandise. His freighter had been ambushed by pirates 3 months ago, and he'd been sold to slavers before he could even fight back. Yet, Alex had made a point of maintaining his dignity, even as his captors paraded him around like livestock. The reptilian handler barked in a guttural language that Alex didn't understand, yanking his chains for effect. With a grimace, Alex muttered under his breath, "Easy there, Scaly. I'm expensive," the handler growled, tightening the chains and snapping a whip across Alex's back. Pain radiated through his body, but he refused to cry out. Instead, he glanced at the assembled crowd, his grin somehow still intact. "Any takers?" he called out. "I come with a warranty. Good looks, winning personality, and I'm great with kids." The crowd chuckled, but most quickly moved on. Humans were not prized in the Xelya system. Seen as stubborn, fragile, and primitive, they were rarely considered worth the trouble. Then she appeared. Xelya Veyn moved through the market like a silver flame, her shimmering, metallic skin catching the sunlight. She was breathtaking, with delicate features that marked her as Ultherian nobility, high cheekbones, glowing violet eyes, and hair that cascaded like liquid starlight. Clad in intricate robes, she radiated an air of superiority. Her eyes flicked to Alex, narrowing in distaste. "This is a human?" she asked, her melodic voice dripping with disdain. "Strong," the handler grunted, gesturing toward Alex. "And clever. But insolent." "Clever," Xelya repeated, arching a perfectly sculpted brow. "Doesn't look it." "I could say the same about you," Alex shot back, his grin widening. "But hey, let's not judge a book by its cover." The crowd gasped, and even the handler flinched. No one spoke to an Ultherian noble like that. Xelia's violet eyes darkened as she stepped closer, towering over him on the platform. "Watch your tongue, human," she warned, her voice icy. "Buy me and I'll consider it," Alex replied. "Or are you just window shopping?" Her lips pressed into a thin line, but instead of turning away, she reached into her satchel and tossed a handful of gleaming coins into the handler's claws. "I'll take him." Alex blinked, momentarily stunned. "Wait, seriously? Don't flatter yourself," Xelya said, her tone cutting. "You'll serve as a reminder that even the most defiant creatures can be tamed." As her guards hauled Alex onto her transport, he couldn't resist a parting shot. "Good luck with that, princess." Her expression didn't change, but something flickered in her eyes. Annoyance? Or perhaps curiosity? Veyn Estate was a marvel of engineering and opulence, a crystalline palace suspended on a floating island high above the surface of Xelya Veyn. As the transport descended, Alex couldn't help but whistle in admiration. "Nice digs," he said, earning a sharp glare from Xelya. "You'll stay in the servant quarters," she said curtly. "You'll perform whatever tasks I assign. Step out of line, and you'll regret it." "Sounds cozy," Alex replied, his tone dripping with sarcasm. "Will there be a mint on my pillow?" Xelya ignored him, ordering her guards to escort him to a small, sparsely furnished room. Though far from the dungeon Alex had feared, the reinforced windows and electronic locks made it clear that he wasn't going anywhere. That first week, Xelya assigned Alex the most menial tasks imaginable: scrubbing floors, polishing metal, and tending to the estate's sprawling gardens. She seemed determined to humiliate him, watching with satisfaction as he struggled against the unforgiving Ultherian sun. But Alex refused to give her the satisfaction of seeing him break. He completed each task with a grin and a snarky comment, his irreverence driving Xelya to the edge of her patience. One afternoon, as he carried a load of supplies into her transport, Xelya snapped at him. "You're dragging dirt into my vehicle." "Relax," Alex said, brushing his hands on his tattered shirt. "Your luxury spaceship will survive." Xelya glared at him, her violet eyes blazing. "You're insufferable. And you're uptight," Alex countered. "Maybe we'll balance each other out." Her cheeks flushed a faint silver, a telltale sign of embarrassment, but she quickly turned away. "You're impossible." "You're welcome." As the weeks passed, Alex's presence began to disrupt the careful order of Xelia's world. She had expected him to grovel, to cower under her authority. Instead, he challenged her at every turn, his wit and resilience forcing her to confront her own biases. One evening, during a rare thunderstorm, she found him staring out the window of his room. His usual smirk was gone, replaced by a look of quiet longing. "Miss Earth?" she asked, leaning against the doorframe. Alex didn't turn around. "I miss freedom." The words hung in the air like a challenge, and for the first time, Xelya found herself at a loss. She had never considered what it must feel like to be stripped of autonomy. To her, the concept of freedom was as natural as breathing. "You must think I'm a monster," she said softly. Alex finally looked at her, his expression unreadable. Not a monster. Just sheltered. Her metallic skin flushed faintly, and she quickly changed the subject. But the conversation lingered in her mind, gnawing at the edges of her carefully constructed worldview. Their growing connection didn't go unnoticed. Xelia's uncle, a powerful Ultherian senator, visited the estate and immediately disapproved of her interactions with Alex. "Humans are dangerous," he warned. "Their defiance is contagious. If you're not careful, this one will infect you with his ideals." Xelya bristled at the implication, but her uncle's words planted a seed of doubt. When he ordered Alex to be sent to a penal colony, she was faced with an impossible choice: obey her family or betray them. That night she went to Alex's room, her composure cracking. "They're taking you tomorrow," she blurted out. Alex raised an eyebrow. "And here I thought we were starting to get along." "I'm serious," she snapped. "They'll send you to the mines. You'll die there." He stepped closer, his expression softening. "Then help me." For a long moment, Xelya said nothing. Then, with a shaky breath, she nodded. The escape was chaotic and perilous, forcing Xelya and Alex to rely on each other in ways neither had expected. They fled under cover of darkness, navigating a labyrinth of checkpoints and patrols as they made their way to the spaceport. Xelya used her wealth and connections to secure a small, unregistered ship, but her uncle's forces were never far behind. As they dodged plasma fire and evaded capture, Alex's cocky demeanor became a source of strength. "Not bad for a fragile human, huh?" he teased as he piloted the ship through an asteroid field. "Don't push your luck," Xelya replied, but her tone was softer now. When they finally reached the safety of deep space, the tension between them boiled over. In the quiet of the ship's cockpit, Xelya turned to Alex. "I was wrong about you," she admitted. "About humans? And I was wrong about you," Alex replied, his grin turning playful. "You're not so uptight after all." She rolled her eyes, but there was a warmth in her gaze that hadn't been there before. "Don't let it go to your head." "Too late," he said, leaning closer. And for the first time, she didn't pull away. Together, they forged a new path, challenging the injustices of the galaxy and uncovering a connection neither had anticipated. For Alex, freedom was no longer just about escaping chains. With Xelya, he had found something worth fighting for. And for Xelya, Alex wasn't just a human. He was her equal, her partner, and perhaps her greatest weakness. As the stars stretched out before them, they knew their journey was only beginning. Cosmic journey through the price of freedom. We hope you enjoyed the adventure as much as we loved sharing it with you. If you want more epic sci-fi tales, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for future adventures. Thank you.